Hello, everyone. My name is Jessica, and I'm the founder of the Passion Company. I'm here to share with you a story that happened last year in November. So I got lucky to leave Lebanon and go to Stanford Business School. After that, I joined a small startup called Airbnb. Has anyone heard of it? And after 4 years, I decided that it's time to do what I love. And what I loved, I discovered then, was to help people find their passions. So I started a company which is an accelerator, but for your passions. So instead of launching another vegan tech startup, you could paint, do something that you truly care about. And then part of this company, within 8 months, we said we're going to do our first big conference. So I'm going to show you a video from our conference called Start. Let's see. Can it play? So this is our conference. We did start with a dance party. There was 350 people. It was a 4-day conference. I'm about to think we should get up and dance. We need some energy in the room. So that was our conference, and it was a huge, huge success. And Sue probably knows how hard it is to put on a conference. All right, we can stop it. Thank you. The next day, I woke up and I couldn't feel my legs. So I went on WebMD, and I convinced myself I had cancer or some big disease. What happened next is I got hospitalized because I couldn't walk anymore. And to the surprise of everyone, because I was dancing on stage just the day before. And after getting all the test results and consulting so many doctors, I was told I have this thing called burnout. Me? Burning out? You know, I'm young. I only have 1 startup. I know people who have 4 startups. Why would someone like me burn out? I'm doing what I love, right? Didn't I leave my job to pursue my passion? What I discovered then, after accepting the fact, going and meditating and accepting the fact that I'm burnt out, was that I wasn't the only one. Just go on medium.com and look up burnout. And then I started writing about it. So one night I wrote this article called Fuck Working Hard. And I went to bed. So I wrote it, went to bed, and I woke up and it has 100,000 views. It was on the top of Medium. I had tens of emails from people I didn't know telling me, thank you for writing this. I needed to hear this. And soon, I had startup founders reaching out to me about their own burnout, people that I would look up to, that I would say, oh my God, she can run a 100-kilometer race, have 5 kids, and have a startup. This woman was struggling and burning out. And all of a sudden, I saw that there was an epidemic. There is an epidemic in the startup world where we drive ourselves to the edge for nothing, for the wrong reasons. And so I found it as my duty as an entrepreneur to talk about it here and to also share with you my learning so that you can do it with your team, especially for those of you who manage people. Be able to be a responsible entrepreneur. So what I learned, the first thing was that different bodies and minds are different. In my company, 2 of my favorite employees quit. They were stunning. And the reason why they quit was because they couldn't take the pressure. And so what I learned is that if I can deal with 5 hours of sleep, my employees may need more. And so now I have the conversation. What is it that you need? But most importantly, I play a role model for my employees because I do need my 8 hours of sleep. In fact, Ariana Huffington just wrote a whole book about sleep, and she said, sleep your way to success. And so truthfully, realizing that you are not the other entrepreneur. You cannot take what other people are taking, or you can take more. So I'm not going to tell you here, meditate every morning, go on a run, all of that, because we are all so different. But for me, it's important that you recognize that what is it that your body needs to function? Because if your body stops functioning like mine, if you can't walk anymore nor sleep, what's the point? You can't even pursue any of your dreams or your passions. The second thing that I learned is oftentimes we forget why we're doing what we're doing. Okay, so we do a startup and we're like, we're going to raise money and we're going to kill it and be successful. And then we're not honest with ourselves. because I realized that I forgot why I was doing the passion company. Initially, I was doing it because I wanted freedom. I didn't want to have a boss. I didn't want to be tied with like a lot of responsibilities that come from other people. Next thing I know, I had set myself such high expectations. I was having people's money in my hand that I lost my freedom again. So when I went back to why, I realized that I was doing it for the wrong reason. The second reason is to help people find their passion. What was I really doing? I was trying to impress other entrepreneurs. Is that the right reason? Is that worth my effort? Then I realized no, and I had to stop. So my piece of advice to you is every now and then go back to why am I doing this? Because sometimes you may realize it's no longer for the good reason and why you started, and maybe it's time to leave, and that's okay. I like to call this radical self-honesty. The third lesson is that it's not all about scale. When I jumped from Airbnb to the Passion Co, I went us to be in 10 different markets in 1 year, and that obviously did not work. And what I realized is that a business like mine didn't need to become so big for it to work. But I learned that sometimes taking things slow are good, that I don't need to raise money, I can keep my company sustainable. So again, there is this obsession in our space and industry about like everything needs to be scaled. The world needs your business, the world needs your product, the world needs your idea. So don't put your idea on a gambling, oh, it's either going to be so big or I'm going to shut it down. No, don't shut it down. Try to make it sustainable. And that was one of the biggest things that changed in my work with the Passion Co. Since we slowed things down, we actually have more opportunities and more corporate sponsorships and interests, and we're working on a big partnership right now. I didn't have to struggle for it. So again, the struggle is not always needed. And so that was my journey with the Passion Co. And today I spend a lot of time writing, and in fact, I've been published in all the way from Time to Huffington Post, and that wasn't something that I was expecting. So even when you go through the hard times in your startup, whether it's burnout to not getting what you want from funding or having a co-founder leave, I like to think about all these moments as moments of reawakening, of thinking about yourself as you're the phoenix that's rising from the ashes. And for me, I see my burnout as made me a better entrepreneur, made me a better friend, maybe a more honest person with myself. So every time you hit a roadblock, especially in your startup, think, how can I be better after that? And what am I learning from this? And what can I change about this? Because I could have stopped everything after the burnout, and I could have quit, and I could have been ashamed and not talked about it. But what I did is I went out and said, I have a burnout. So at the end, I want to read you my piece, which is called Fuck Working Hard. And I wanted to allow for any questions that you have about the topic. I used to work really hard, so hard I almost killed myself. I used to praise the people that worked hard and mimic them, until burnout came knocking and I was forced to ask myself why. Working hard as a cover-up for I'm so insecure, I need to prove to people that don't give a shit about me that I'm worthy, smart, and capable. Working hard is code for the system screwed me. It is code for injustice, the system that values wealth accumulation, income inequality, and global warming. I have to work 5 jobs to pay my rent when my rich neighbor is only getting richer. Working hard is an escape from myself. It is because I cannot fucking stand sitting alone and noticing how I feel. It is my alcohol, Instagram, my addiction. Working hard is ignorance because I was young and my narcissistic boss told me it is the only way. Working hard means I'm stupid because I'm not stopping and finding ways to work smarter. Working hard is selfish, for I'm robbing my family and friends from my presence, love, and attention. I'm no longer buying your excuses of hard work to save the world. I'm no longer singing your praises when I see you soulless and close to burnout. I'm no longer getting inspired by your work ethics because I now live for my life ethics. I'm simply asking you, why, my friend? So I wanted to invite you to find someone you're sitting next to and talk to them about why you're doing what you're doing. You have 3 minutes, and then I'm going to ask some of you to share about why you're doing your startup. All right? So everyone has a pair. Or find a pair, meet someone. You already want to meet people here. This is your excuse. Maybe someone that you find cute. And just ask them at least 3 times why they're doing what they're doing. I see people in the back not interacting. All right. And who wants to share about why they're doing their business? Raise your hand. So we need to give incentives here. You'll get ice cream. Anyone here wants to share with us what came out from the conversation? No. She chose you. She chose you.
I don't have a startup. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Why you're doing whatever you're doing?
I'm here like between my bachelor and master program. So right now I'm just working a bit in Berlin, enjoying the whole startup scene. And yeah, I met her and she has a startup actually for a year.
What's your name?
Hi, my name is Lison. Well, yeah, I have a software development startup. We develop software for the sharing economy.
Yeah.
And why do I do what I do? Because I love what I do, actually. Right now, I don't mind working hard. I mean, I understand that there might be situations, you know, where you do mind. Yeah, I just love meeting many ambitious, interested, passionate people. And with which I meet a lot of interesting people. Also because I kind of see what we're doing as enabling other startups, which is also really exciting.
Definitely, very fulfilling, yes.
Yeah.
And you seem to be very clear on your why, and that's something to go back to every now and then to make sure that you're on the right track. Thank you. What's the name of your company?
It's Sharado. Share and then Rado.
Share Rado.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing.
Thanks.
Anyone else wants to share about the why they're doing their startup?
So my name is Tommy. I'm actually the founder of a company called Carzada, based out of Munich. So it's a basically curated online marketplace for young, premium conditioned used cars. So basically transforming the classified business model and going kind of the building the next wave of a company that actually enables people to buy and sell used cars. And the why am I doing this? First thing is that cars is a passion of mine and the passion also of my co-founder. So really, thinking about the way cars are being really used, are being sold, bought. And the second reason is that we kind of identify different pain points that basically customers or users are facing currently and that are not being solved. So we're trying to really solve these pain points, these problems in the market, and that's something that also is sort of fulfilling to see really people who are at the beginning, the first touch point they have with our company, with our product, is very like skeptical because they don't know how, you know, you should buy a car by clicking on a buy now button online. It's very, very strange. But then at the end of the day, when we deliver the car to their doorstep, they are like very extremely happy. They are really like the customer experience, and this is something when you see the sparkle in the eyes of the customer, which is also fulfilling.
That's beautiful, and I think that's something that's great about the beginning of the company. You're interacting with the customers often. And so my last thought for you is balancing between ego, because we all have ego reasons why we do companies, right? We want to feel good about ourselves. We want to feel smart and we're adding value, and balancing also with the impact and the difference we're making. And oftentimes, when there is imbalance, when there is way too much ego and coming from comparison, often is when you start exhausting yourself and your body. So please, please keep checking in with yourself so you can stay on the journey, because it's a long journey. Entrepreneurship, as we all know, it's a long journey. Don't believe the stories that you read of overnight success. Even Airbnb, I like to call it the Black Swan. Has anyone read the Black Swan? Well, I highly recommend the book. It's not the play, the ballet play, but it's about the idea that sometimes there is one company or an event that's all swans are white, there's one black swan. And it just happens, it's something that you cannot predict, an unpredictable event. So oftentimes we compare our life to unpredictable events that rarely happen. So again, remember that your company might not be the black swan, but your company can make a difference in the world, and the people need it. So don't kill yourself, don't burn yourself out, don't burn your team. Take care of yourself, because you are needed. Thank you.